All right, we are feeling fresh and clocking in for our Saturday night update. We are, in fact, on track. It is 8:08 p.m. and the only two things we've got left to do for the night are create this video and upload it, and then just plan out the day for tomorrow so that we can set our pins up in order to knock them down. Today was, I'd say, about as good of a day as it could have gone. Ended up sleeping in and took a much needed 11-hour hibernation last night from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m. Wasn't what was expected or planned, but ended up being very much worth it. I showed up today with a sharpness that I haven't had over the last couple weeks because I hadn't had a night of sleep that was really like that long or proper in quite some time. So that was really good. I ended up making the choice that was like, hey, it's okay if I take that night of sleep because I kind of needed it, as long as I'm disciplined. There we go. As long as I'm disciplined about this time that we're going to sleep tonight. The only problem with sleeping the 11 hours or waking up at 8 a.m. instead of like 5 when we typically want to or sooner is if I end up staying up until like 10 tonight or 11 tonight or even like 9:30, we'll end up having to sleep in later and then sacrificing time and sleep in order to wake up early and get ourselves back on track, as opposed to being disciplined about when we go to sleep tonight. But today ended up having a really productive start to the day. We're working on our formats library, which is essentially going to be like the infinity stones of writing good scripts as a Brandsharks scriptwriter, and our whole team will be trained on this. I touched on it a little bit in yesterday's video as well, but that's really just going to be like our methodology. And I think this is a long time coming, and it's finally like extracting my script writing brain and putting it on paper so that anybody internally will be able to write scripts the same way, if not better, than I would, and then also train our AI systems on that as well. So it's a really fun, exciting document it's an interesting situation because I don't want to rush it at all, because this is like, I would argue, the most important document in the company right now. And we do need to get it in pretty soon because we got to ramp up the new script writers that are on our team. I want to get the AI system dialed in before I start this travel spree in about 3 weeks. I actually think it's less than 3 weeks. So today's Saturday. Yeah, it's like 2.5 weeks now. So it's definitely coming up, but I'm very excited about it. That was from about 8:30 to 1:30. And then from 1:30 to 4, I had a 2.5-hour call with our potential new post-production manager. There was a candidate that made it through our rigorous tests in order to get to the final interview yesterday. Interview went well. I pulled my favorite card out of the back pocket on a Friday interview and said, we have an important project that needs to get done tomorrow. And there was an important project that needed to get done today that I was going to do regardless. And we need to jump on for 2.5 hours on a Saturday to get it done. Do you step up for the challenge? This guy stepped up for the challenge, completed the task, helped out a ton, and I think he did a really good job. So we're moving him on to the final stage of our interview process. So the interview process is pretty ruthless. Like any time that we've had someone who hasn't fit on our team or has been a short tenure at the company, it's been due to a rushed hiring or due to a knee-jerk hiring where we didn't put someone through a good enough process in order to get all the red flags out before joining the team. So the last part of that interview process is now going to be the gentleman talking to some of our longest tenured team members about like what Brandsharks is. They'll get a feel for him as a leader because he's going to become into a leadership position in the company. So those are going to be happening tomorrow and Monday. I'll get the report back from my team, and then we will start the onboarding process, which I'm super stoked about. Then after that, drove down to, like downtown Scottsdale, like Fashion Square, and met up with one of my friends who is in the Hormozi acquisition group, and he's in town for his brother-in-law's graduation, I think, and he was like, yo, we should meet up. I was like, totally should. We met up. He shared what was working for him. I shared what was working for me because we're in relatively similar spaces. He's just in a more like niched down and ads as opposed to us being broad niche, organic, and one process. So got to learn a bunch from him. It's about the way he has his company structured. Like right now we have, for example, a post-production manager that manages the entire post-production, like reviews all the videos across all client accounts, a few script writers that are across all the client accounts, myself in the strategist seat across all client accounts, a customer success across all client accounts, but he's got his structured in a way that's like a content strategist does the strategy, scripting, and post-production management for a certain amount of clients. And then another content strategist does the strategy, scripting, and post-production for a certain amount of clients. And then they're like rewarded based on their performance. I also learned how they guarantee followers and leads via ads, which was a good potential thing to put into our back pocket when it comes to strengthening up our product even more when that becomes the next constraint. So that was really cool to see as well. And then I just kind of shared some of the hiring processes that we were doing to bring on lots of team members and do it the right way and learning from our mistakes. So it was overall really good with Restaurant Week here in Scottsdale. So we had a nice 3-course meal. It was like some Brussels sprouts. I had the spicy rigatoni, which was fire, and the Brussels sprouts were fire. And then we had some like ice cream monkey bread thing afterwards, which was fire. Like it was overall really just efficient day, especially for waking up late. And then afterwards, I went to a new barber because my barber was not able to jump in at 6 p.m. on a Saturday, which I totally understand. I was like, we need a haircut. And because haircuts, not like I'm planning haircuts in advance. You know, like haircuts kind of like, yo, I'm wolfing. I need a haircut. So I was like, need one today. And I think that went pretty well, dude. Really happy with his haircut. Came back, took a shower, and here we are. Getting tired at 8:14. So overall, really strong Saturday. We're going to get up and have a really strong Sunday, and then get up the next day and a really strong Monday, and continue that cycle. So I'll see you there.